Howdy kids, Laoshi Lawrence McElroy here again for Water Tiger School of Tai Chi Chuan. I know it's been a little while since we posted some original content on our YouTube channel. That's, more or less an availability of time. We apologize, but we find ourselves, busy in this new abnormal in which we are all currently living. Hey, and I think this is, I hope you're going to enjoy this because Water Tigers sort of passed me the baton, if you will. I got to choose 12 of my favorite upper body stretches. So we have a little aerobic warm-up, and then the 12 stretches, a little behind-the-scenes thing. This is take 2. I got a little bit of the order wrong, or really sort of messed up a stretch that's new to me, so I'm going to blame the fact that it's new to me that I screwed it up. Don't need any equipment. I mean, I have a lot of upper body stretches that I really love. Did I mention I really love them? That involve additional equipment. But for today, all you might need is a towel. You may not need this little modifier. And it doesn't have to be a towel. You could use an exercise band. You could use just an extra shirt. You could use a 12-inch rule. A little dowel, a broom handle, whatever. And it'll become obvious how those things might also work as we use the towel, I guess. So I guess without further ado, we'll get this party started this morning. I did it again. You see, I did that in the first take, and I was hoping to avoid it in the second take because, yes, of course, we are shooting this video in the morning, but it's going to be seen at all times of day, so it doesn't make a lot of sense to say good morning or where we are in the day. We're going to start with a little aerobic warm-up. Now, if you've been active before you do a stretching set, then that's fine. You've already got the blood and the oxygen going. The muscles are already warm. But if not, you want to do something. You want to move somehow because you don't want to stretch a cold muscle because there's a really good chance of injury. Several people in the Water Tiger School program at one time or another, stretch, and then, they have to take a couple of days off because Laoshi, I pulled something. And 9 times out of 10, it's because they're just stretching cold. They're like getting on the mat and just starting with, an intense physical stretch without getting the blood flowing. So you want to do something. I'll show you some modifiers to the way that I'm doing my favorite aerobic warm-up. But, you can just start with a little bounce, a little aerobic bounce. You can just shake, keeping the balls of the feet on the floor and just sort of bouncing on the heels. I like to do this a lot just to get started before I do anything else. Then I have a little sequence that I normally follow that begins with a little march. So, beginning with the march, make targets with your hands, and just bring the knees to the hands, not the hands down to the knees. There's a tendency for the hands to drop a little bit. That's okay. About 20 seconds here. We started a little late, so let's see if I can do the math and get to your 20. 3, 2, 1. We're going to switch it up. We're going to go wide. I switched to fists here. You can do fists. You can do open hand. If you have a lower range of motion, all you have to do is lower the hands a little bit so you don't have to bring the knees and the thighs up so high. We're going to switch to a little knees up run. 2 and 1. Don't have to be too high. About there is good, or less. You can even do sort of a little jog. It's about 20 seconds. And then we do the same thing with the knees. 2 and 1. Going wide. Looks a little silly. When you change from knees up to knees out, it changes where the activation is. In the lower legs, the glutes, hamstrings, hip flexors. I'm going to switch to a third way to run or jog. Now, knees down, heels up. Again, you can sort of do just a little hop, a little jog. You can hear I'm breathing. So, little half jacks or mini jacks, and now. So, I like the little half jacks. Step jacks, if you need that. My chest and shoulders are a little tight. I might do T-jacks. And our last little thing, little run lunges. So my arm extends with extending foot. And also do straight arm. Pull. And shake that out. So again, you can hear warm up. Got the breath going. I don't need the sweatshirt anymore. I'm gonna move the microphone down. Hope I'm not creating too much noise. Take off the sweatshirt. Bring the mic back up. Stop my timer for now. Might use it again later. Actually, I will. So, huggers. Probably should have done that with the sweatshirt still on. Doesn't really matter. I like to keep the lower body moving. Everything's connected. You'll actually experience that in the first stretch. Just simple head rolls. You're going to do 2 pair, just the basic head roll. Add a little intensifier that's new to my life on the 3rd pair. Now I'm doing head rolls, so you know the ears dropping down. When I'm done with that side, roll the chin down toward the chest and up to the other side. We're not going back. I do like rolling to the back in certain exercises, certain warm-ups. Definitely when I'm doing loosen the body joints from Water Tiger School's Awakening the Chi, but that's tweaky on people's necks. Head rolls can be too, so you know maybe you just want to drop the ear and hang out there for a while and drop the ear on the other side without the roll. Whatever works for you. Be careful, the neck is a tricky animal. Take an inhalation, exhale, chin down, ear down to the shoulder. And if you want to reach for the ground, reach for the floor. That not only that holds everything still when you do the head roll, so you're not moving the upper body, but also creates a little activation, sort of intensifies the stretch a little bit. Inhale, exhale, chin down toward the chest, not necessarily on the chest. Up to the other side. 2, going to 6. Inhale, exhale, chin down toward the chest. Up to the other side. Man, can you hear that popping in my neck? I'm okay. Popping generally okay. Grinding, Inhale, exhale. That was 3 of 6. You can also turn the palms forward. Ooh, that turned up the volume. These are just basic intensifiers. You can also just let the arms hang. As long as this doesn't move during the head roll. This is number 3, inhale, exhale. Remember, generally, in all these stretches that we're doing in the upper body, and just stretching generally, you explore the stretch on the exhalation and sort of pause that exploration on the inhale. So I am dropping my right ear down toward my right shoulder. Right now, I've sort of loosened my reaching to the ground. I'm going to turn it up, but use the opposite arm. I'm going to reach that opposite arm down toward the floor and start to lift it up and out while still reaching it down. Oh my Lord. The ground, because the stretch is right here. Now that activates the trap. I mean, I feel this in my triceps, my biceps, a little bit down into the forearm. Everything is connected. And go ahead and release that arm. Find that inhalation, exhale over to the other side. Settle in. Get your thing going. We're reaching, now I'm on the left side, so I'm reaching the right arm down. Starting to lift it up. No joints, no bent arms, no open elbows. And just feel that, intensify. And you'll notice my right arm is a little bit higher than my left arm was. Left shoulder was a little tighter than my right shoulder. But I still feel this in the biceps and the triceps. Go ahead and let that drop down. Inhale, exhale. Chin down toward the chest. And inhale up. Chicken wing stretch. This is one that you might need for which you might need a towel or something else. Because ideally, what we do here is we take that, let's use the right hand to grab the left wrist, and then pull that left arm tight across the back, making that chicken wing with the right arm. So this is why you may need the towel. I like to roll it up, because maybe you can't grab the wrist. But, it's also fine if I get the fingers and create the chicken wing. The wrist is better. But if you can't do that, then you grab the towel and create the chicken wing. Right, as close as you possibly can to the hand. And, it's not ideal. It's best to grab the wrist, but you need that modifier. If you don't have anything, use your shirt. Right, so there's that chicken wing. See it? Drop the ear down to the shoulder on that chicken wing side. Inhale, exhale. You can go down and go up. I'm going to go down, look down at the floor. Feel that change in the neck. A few breaths here, not many. Inhale, exhale. Another inhale, and then on the exhale, look up toward the ceiling. There's that marvelous insulation over my workout space. Inhale, exhale. Nose back to forward. And release. Here's one side. So now I'm going to grab the right hand with the left wrist, the right wrist with the left hand. Create the chicken wing on that side. Again, you have this, fingers, and you can just grab. You can only reach the middle finger. Or again, towel, dowel, rule, shirt. Create that activation. Oops, that's the right side. There we go. Left side. So now inhale, exhale. Drop that left ear down to the chicken wing side. By the way, I understand the way that we mispronounce Laoshi, because it's supposed to be Laoshi. And instead of an old teacher, Laoshi, I'm an old chicken, Laoshi. Inhale, exhale, chin down toward the chest. Never verified that, so, But I trust the source. It doesn't necessarily mean the source was correct. Inhale, exhale. I like telling that story, so I don't want to find out that it's false. I'd rather have it be true. Inhale, exhale. Release. And there's the chicken wing stretch. 2 are gone. Here's 3. Third is the neck stretch. This whole area is pretty tricky, so we spend a lot of time on the neck if we need to. But these are my go-to stretches if I do have issues in my neck and just right in that shoulder area. It's called back up the car. So no arms here, arms here, but no joints. So bending the elbows destroys this stretch. Straight arms. Some people like this at 10 and 2. I tend to go with 9 and 3. It's also a reminder that if you're driving at 10 and 2 and you get in a collision and your airbag goes off, where do the fists go? Pretty much right into your face. So 9 and 3, they go out. So nice straight arms. Inhale. And on the exhale, take it easy. We're going to go to the right. I'm going to the right first. Your chin can be where it needs to be. I like to keep mine at parallel for this particular stretch. Exhale. I might change my mind sometime. I was supposed to be counting down to 10. Let me start that one again. So, sorry. Take 3. I'm not going to stop the video production. Go back just because of that. Inhale, exhale, 10, 9, 8. If you reach your range of motion, 7, 6. Then go ahead, hang out there and explore the stretch. 3. Probably actually 4, 3, 2, and 1. And just a couple of beats at the end of my range of motion. Release. Inhale, 10, 9, again, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you may have hit your range of motion before, even before 7, and that just means you get those last 7 counts to really explore and release that stretch. And that's the neck. 3 basic, relatively simple neck stretches. We're going to start with the shoulders now. I'm going to do just basic shoulder rolls. It's sort of like arm circles, right? Shoulder rolls are next. Yes, and then arm circles. So I'm sort of doing arm circles without my arms. So I don't want to pinch, right? But I really want to get as much rotation. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. I'm going to start back and up first. There's 1. Breathe throughout. There's 2. There's 3. There's 4. There's 5. There's 6, and reverse 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, arm circles, more or less 3 different ways. The first is my all-time favorite. Been doing this for a couple years, I think. From a guy named Peter Egoscue. I call it the Egoscue Shoulder Series. What you want to do is create these hands. See how my palms are open? The pads of my fingers come to the base of the fingers. I'm not covering the palms at all. Closed and thumbs out. So straight arms, no joints. These cover this space, no higher than the shoulders, and as much behind you as possible. The first, I need to get the timer going, is Hitchhikers Forward. So my palms are down, my thumbs are forward. And again, notice I'm not coming up here. I'm at my shoulders. Oops, sorry. There we go. And I'm not doing this. Right to my torso. 3, 2, 1. Hitchhikers backwards, palms up, thumbs back. Breathe in. Straight arms here, mostly behind you. As big as you can, but no higher than the shoulders. Some of you might be like here, and that's fine. 3, 2, 1. Now butterfly. You take that weird hand configuration, turn the thumbs down, knuckles at the temples. Now there's a tendency here to want to pump the head. You want the head to stay still as you seek to bring the elbows as close together as possible and as far back as possible for 20 seconds. So back far, forward as close as possible. Let's see. Can't hardly help but for a little head movement. But this destroys what you're doing. 3, 2, 1. Now those particular exercises are designed to help and generate some additional synovial fluid, sort of the lubrication of the joints in the shoulders, chest, and upper back. I love them. So the next set of arm circles are normally what I do maybe to really heat up the shoulders to do some upper body work. So it creates a lot of heat. You may find that you need to stop and shake things up and then out and then come back in to us. So the first arm circles, palms out and sort of medium. Now these can move in front, and we're here for 20 seconds. Going forward first, but again, straight arms, not bent elbows. Maybe you already feel the heat. 3, 2, 1, and backwards. Again, not too big here. I got a little large there. Washing windows left and right. Washing the walls. 10 seconds in. We're going to go big in 5 seconds. We're going to point the fingertips down, 2 and 1, and keep going back. Keep with the straight arms. Whew, here it comes. Here comes the burn. It's not already there. Straight arms. Again, if you need to do this, that's fine. Come back in when you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, and the other direction. Hold more 20 seconds. You can also count down. I've also done these like on a 10 count instead of 20 seconds. That works too. Done the Egoscue shoulder series that way too. 3, 2, 1, and then shake that out. You gotta shake that one out. So there's arm circle 2. Right, that creates some heat. I do other kinds of arm circles. You know, if you know Water Tiger School, you know turn and circle, where you're sort of, you know, getting it through the whole body. This is actually kind of close to that. They're called swimmers. I'm not going to time this. We're just going to do 6 in 2 different directions. We're going to step 1 foot forward. I'm going to step the left foot forward. So that means I'm going to do the right arm first. I'm going to swim backwards first. So if you have a shoulder impingement, you know, you're probably going to have to stay more out here, but otherwise, a little turn of the body. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and back. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then switch the stance. Back, 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 forward, 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 forward. And now reachers, some people call them the wave. Same sort of stance. So I'm going to go back to my left foot. Now, opinions vary here. Some people, you know, in the forward position bring their heel up off the ground. I'm usually one of those. Other people say that they need to stay flat. When I come into the backward position, the people will also say, you know, you bring the ball of the foot up off the ground. And when you go backward, I like to keep my front foot flat. Although I like the heel rise in front, I like the foot flat in the back. You're going to do this 2 ways. We're still only going to do 3 times. And we're still only going to do 3 times. And I'll just show you the variation on the 3rd. So straight arms here. When you start, palms back, back of the hands forward. Inhale. Look at that stretch, that little arc if you can get it right. And then exhale. Reaching the palms toward the ceiling. Notice the straight arms. A little bit of a kip here, not much. I'm not doing this. Inhale. And exhale. And here's the variation. You can do this when you do it all 3 times. A lot of times to warm up, I do reachers this way. And then reachers in the cool down. This first part is just the same. Inhale, and then on the exhale, you just let them fall. That feels pretty darn good. So there's reachers. Now, of my upper body stretches, cross wrist stretch, my favorite. Front and rear, couple of pairs. It's going to hold it for a few breaths. Now, ideally, in front, cross the wrists, palm to palm. And there's also a variation. You intensify with the fingers interlocked. I'll show you that. You know, some of us may have to be out here. But straight arms, no joints. If you can't do that with straight arms, then find where you can straighten the arms and start to drive the backs of the hands toward one another. So you have that same V in front. You just don't really have the cross wrists. So here's the front. Hold for a few breaths. Breathe. Bringing the fronts of the shoulders together. Exaggerated roundness in the back. Now behind, again, you want straight arms. So some of us, with a smaller range of motion, drive the fists toward one, palm to palm. Right? And maybe this is all you can get. This is also another one where you could use the towel. So you get a little bit better stretch. You can also Interlock the fingers, and ideally right at the base of the fingers, right? That's where you want them, but some of us may be out here. So you get those nice straight arms. Any way you do it, you start up high, palm to palm, that's going to be the most intense, and then drive them down. Now here I'm bringing the backs of the shoulders together. Exaggerated posture, chest is really out. Breathing. I'll show you the sort of intensifiers or variations really in cross wrist stretch in front. I don't really consider this as much of an intensifier as it is just a variation. You can interlock the fingers here, reach out, and then really round the back. But otherwise, you're just down here. Breathing, a couple more breaths. And then, again, start high, reach low. This is a good thing to do in different positions, right? There's an intensifier for the wide leg hamstring stretch using this. You get into your wide leg hamstring stretch, you come up out of it, or even a split leg hamstring stretch. Come up out of it, get your hands into this position, and as you do the forward bend, do what I'm doing here while just standing up. Reach the hands up and out away from the body. That really intensifies things. You know, if I'm doing a forward fold here, I'm doing that. It's a bear if you're doing it in like Warrior One in yoga, or kind of a crescent pose position, since the back heel is down in Warrior One. Sometimes that offers some more stability. And there you go. And shake that one up too. So we're getting close to the end. Shoulder tricep stretch, just 3 left. Shoulder tricep stretch, what I call the yawning stretch, and a little of what I know as the tapas stretch. So straighten an arm. No joints here. As soon as you bend the elbow, it destroys it. Take at around the elbow. Now notice my height here. It's not down. It's not up. It's right at my neck. And I'm pulling it across. Now some of you may be, way out here. Really getting the back of that shoulder. Up to the point where I have to strangle myself. Right? You can also do this little arm lock thing. Or turn up the volume a little bit more. That little careful pull. Whenever you engage the muscles in the stretch, do it carefully. They're to support the stretch, not to instigate the stretch. Now, triceps. This is another one where you want to keep the head back instead of getting it out of the way. So I'm going to reach up like, hey, pick me, pick me. Drop the arm down. Now, ideally, I'm taking the elbow with the opposite hand. And not everybody can do that. You might be grabbing onto the forearm. You may be grabbing onto the fingers. You may be grabbing, now see what I'm doing here. Dropping it down, grabbing all the way down here, and pulling myself into it, right? This is where a broomstick or a staff or something might come in handy. But otherwise, elbow. Now notice, head goes forward. I might get a bigger range of motion, but I don't feel it as much. Oh, there it is, my triceps, if my head is back. Now some people like to do a side stretch here. Sometimes I do that, but I prefer just staying upright because I feel, the more you add to a particular stretch, the more it takes away from that individual stretch. There's one side, so other arm. By the way, left is not the right, and right is not the left. Again, palm of the hand at the elbow, lock the wrist. If you're flexible, you can hold the back of your head, grab the shoulder, and just another gentle pull. Carefully. First time I've used the wireless mic while we've been doing YouTube production. So it'll be interesting to, I was about to say see the difference. Hear the difference. Up. Again, maybe fingertips, maybe wrists, maybe forearm, maybe grabbing a towel, an exercise band. a shirt. Head back though, not forward. Again, maybe put the feet together and that little side stretch. But I feel it less in the triceps when I do that. 2 left. Now, I think, if I remember right, when I first learned this stretch, it was called the expansion, compression, chest, shoulders, upper back, or something like that. I just call it the yawning stretch because it reminds me of, you know, when you yawn. I just remembered another shoulder stretch that I should have put in this group. I'll show it to you at the end. Bonus, if you hang out to the end. So yawning stretch, I like my feet wide. Now I'm going to do a little squat. Some people just do this just standing still, but I like to add the little squat. My toes are out, so when I do my little squat, my knees are going to go out. If your toes are forward, your knees should go forward. So that little cross in front of the body. Up. Plug your fingers into the sky. Spread the fingers out. Turn the palms forward. And now as I squat back down, I'm going to reach the backs of, not just the elbows, but the backs of the hands and the elbows to the wall behind me. Oh, that's just bloody marvelous. Here's 2. And back. 1 more time. 3. And back. And see. Really reaching the palms of the hands back too. I'm not doing this, but reaching those elbows back. Now while we're down here in our little squat, what was supposed to be the last stretch, but I know it's the tapas stretch or tapas stretch. Prayer hands in front. Exhale. Inhale, palms up, arms are straight. I'm doing the same thing. I'm working to get the thumb side of the hands together behind me. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. 1 more of those. So that's the official end. But the bonus stretch, I should have included in the first place. I think for whatever reason, since we're at the end of October, my first count, I counted the warm-up and it was like, oh, 13. Maybe I shouldn't do that at the end of October, especially in 2020, especially with the way my last week and a half has been going. Long story, vehicles, bills, COVID, cat. It's been fun. So this last stretch again is sort of new to me. I've done a little version of it at different times and different stretches, but this particular one was a little bit different. So we did, you know, goalpost. Now notice parallel to the ground, not down, not up, but parallel. Going as far back as I can, and then as close as I can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now keeping them in that position, again, notice I'm not going down here, I'm keeping them here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As far as I know, that's called goalpost stretches, or goalpost series. There you go, boys and girls. Some upper body stretches for you from Laoshi, Lawrence McElroy, old chicken that he is. If you skipped any part of the video, you have no idea why I just said that. I hope you enjoy them. I hope you love them as much as I do. There are a series of stretches that I might not do in this order. Usually I only choose one of the arm circles if I'm going to use them to for a warm-up. And as I suggested, the Egoscue series. is usually my go-to these days. A lot of times on the mat or in public classes, I do something like swimmers. But sometimes I do the second one, which is the heat. And those neck stretches are just, they're money. They are so good. So anyway, probably it'll be a couple of weeks before we do more new content again. There's a lot going on in the background between things Water Tiger and things Laoshi. So we'll do the best we can. I'm thinking about doing one that involves some use of some equipment. It'll be a short one maybe on upper body stretches using one of these. Now you can also, when it comes to the stretches on the stability ball, use like a chair or a stool or an ottoman or something. So we're going to put that in the queue. It wasn't in the queue before. And I've also been considering, it was originally in the queue and then it got pulled for some reason. We're thinking about putting it back in, a little myofascial release, a little play with a foam roller. The thing that's a hesitation and probably why it got pulled, I think I should admit I'm the one that pulled it, is I tend to get really loud when I'm on the foam roller. And I'm not sure if I want that out there on the internet. But anyway, so there you go. I'm getting chatty and I shouldn't be. So mask up, everybody. I mean, come on. This is nuts. Stay at home when you can. Stay away from big crowds. Pay attention to what we need to do to get to the other side of this, because we are not doing it. And I'd like to feel less obligated to have to do these on a regular basis, because they're really because people aren't seeing me in the public square doing stuff for libraries and things like that. So I'd like to be able to cut back on producing new content because I'd be too busy to produce new content because I'd be out there in the world. So take care. You'll see me next time.